How about the Chicago Bulls having a players-only meeting 6 seconds into the season?
That's something.
That is something. I mean, clearly that was like they played poorly. That it's not great, and we should get into that. But sometimes I think players only meetings happen every team. I don't know. The Warriors have probably had 7 so far. It's just meetings between players. Sometimes it just gets reported in a way that
Slater says it's nothing. Slater says,
well, no, I mean, they looked horrible, and I'm concerned about the Chicago Bulls. If we could talk about that, but I don't know. I mean, Fred, how many players only meetings do you think the Knicks have had so far? Just
I think Tibbs is all up in there. I think Tibbs is all up in their business all the time. Can I just read this tweet from Julia Poe, who covers the Bulls for the Chicago Tribune? Billy Donovan says when he walked into the Bulls locker room tonight, players were already in heated conversation. He asked if they wanted him to leave to handle conflict. Players said yes, so he did. Donovan emphasized that embracing conflict is key for this year's roster. That just sounds like a little more than oh yeah, we got to talk amongst his players and fix the pick and roll defense. It just sounds a little more damning on a team that has been together for a while. And by the way, was one of the weirdest teams in the NBA last year. They finished with the record that you think they probably should have coming into the year, but we all expect them to be good offensively, do nothing defensively. And meanwhile, they end the year a top 10 defense and struggle offensively. Just a really weird team last year that brought in some good defensive pieces this summer, but is pretty damn similar in its DNA to last year. They're in a weird place. They're in a really weird
and that's
place.
why, again, things you guys know, that's why a lot of the league is right out the gate monitoring what the Bulls do heading into the trade deadline, with DeRozan and Levine pretty widely seen as guys that could be on the move. So when you come out and lose by 20 in the opener and have players only meetings, I think that certainly makes rival executives kind of go, okay, this is so far going according to plan.
Well, I think the frustration is their team built to win internally, right? They believe hey, we got a bunch of veterans, we're on big contracts, this is the time to win. It's not good enough. They're not this is predictable, right? I mean, none of us are picking them to really even probably make the playoffs, whereas they're built they want to be a 4 seed and get to the second round at least, right? So it's going to be frustrating because they're not going to achieve their goals, we don't believe. And this was night 1 of disappointment, right? We would all have picked the Thunder to win that game pretty easily. Internally, they probably wouldn't have, so they're upset.